So the biggest conversation going on right now in Kenya is about safety and well-being. How do you ensure that as an individual you're safe at home or even anywhere else? I am your host, Roxana Gishia, and joining me today is a woman, a mother, and most importantly, the Chief Halls Egerton University, Miss Judith Ofula. Karibu sana.
Thank you very much for having given me this opportunity, at least to air our views concerning the same.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And it's a new year. How is the new year taking you?
Wow, the new year is good. We are faring on well. We thank God that we have come this far.
Okay.
Today is 31st of January. I think it will go on very well.
Okay. And this new year, it has started on a rough patch. People have been complaining. We have this movement called #femicide. So what's your take on that? Being a woman and being a mother.
Wow. Being a woman, it is sad. These activities are really saddening our hearts. You realize that our babies, our girl child, have suffered a lot in the recent past, more especially in the last 2-3 months ago. And as mothers, we feel so sad when our girls go through such ill activities in the society. And therefore, I feel that it is not the right path that we are moving on.
Okay, moving on swiftly. Tell us about your journey. You are the Chief Halls Egerton University. How has that been? When did the journey start and how has it been till now?
Wow, the journey started in 2018 when I was appointed to be the acting Chief Halls Officer. And from then I have been serving the student fraternity. It has been a long journey so far, with ups and downs, many challenges here and there, and we have made it. You know, women, we are there up to the task.
Okay.
We are ready to serve, and therefore I took it positively and began to serve, and I enjoy my work.
Okay.
Having been given a wonderful team that we work with, I think I enjoy it.
What can you say is the biggest highlights of you being the Chief Halls? In the hostels, there are many things that go on. Yeah. You realize that we've got a lot of roles that we carry. And we deal with allocation of rooms to students. We deal with student records. We deal with the safety of students in the hostels. We deal with maintenance of the hostels. We also deal with several student challenges like conflicts among themselves. And that is our path. Okay. Yeah. You've mentioned conflicts. How do you deal with conflicts? I would like for you to expand it on for our listeners, because you've said you deal with conflicts, and we know that the security department is supposed to deal with conflicts. So how do you come in as the Chief Halls department?
Thank you so much. When students have issues in their rooms, you know, they don't stay single. We have rooms of 2, rooms of 3, rooms of 4. And when people live together, they are bound to conflicts. Yeah. So, and you know, as ladies, as gentlemen, there have to be conflicts, even at home. Yeah. A woman and a man will conflict in their own home. And therefore, as they live together, conflicts are bound to appear. So when we receive such complaints, we have encouraged students to come. When they have conflicts, they report to their immediate Halls officer. And if the Halls officer is not ready to deal with them, then they forward the cases to us. So when they come to me, I deal with the cases as they come. Depending on the issue, we solve it as it comes. If we are not able to deal with it, we forward it to the Dean of Students' office, who deal with counseling, and they are ready to deal with those issues. If we are not able to deal with them, then we separate the students. We allow them to move to other rooms so that they can be able to cope with their colleagues.
Okay. You've mentioned about counseling department. How do you ensure that your students are, especially those dealing with mental health issues, feel safe, even living with other people, and especially those people who have suicidal thoughts? How do you ensure that they are safe and are comfortable living with other people?
Students have been sensitized a lot. During different forums, they have group counseling, they have
various things that they carry on in the office of the Dean of Students. So when they meet in those groups of theirs, they are able to share what they go through, and in that process, they are able to deal with the issues as they come.
Okay. So what are some of the challenges that you face? Because I know a university is like a society, and we have different people, different personalities, different backgrounds. So how do you deal with issues? Being a mother, and also you have to balance between being a mother and being the chief host. How do you do that?
Wow. The university has rules and regulations governing students' stay in the hostels. We have an accommodation policy which we abide to it. It's binding. And in that lease agreement, students normally sign it when they come in as first years. So we allow them to go through the process, they read and understand what they're supposed to do, the don'ts and the do's. So if they go against the do's, the don'ts, we penalize. Sometimes we evict. Sometimes we talk to them, those that are able to listen and change. So that is how we deal with those issues.
Okay. Let me just give you a scenario of an issue and tell me how you'll handle it. You've come across someone using bang or even peddling, because you have peddlers in the hostels. How do you handle that situation?
Wow, peddlers are there. I cannot deny that they are not there. They are there. They do it while hiding. And when we get hold of those peddlers, we inform the security. The security guys will come and apprehend them. The moment we get that information, we will evict, because the policy is very clear. Once a student is found peddling drugs, you know it is an offense even in this country. So we evict the student awaiting disciplinary. So that is a security process which normally goes through several stages. And therefore they are allowed to go home. Some are suspended for 2 or 1 year. Then when they come back, they are told not to reside in the hostels, and therefore they become non-residents.
And how do you deal with non-residents and residents? Because they are also students. They live outside the gate. And again, before we even go there, why is it that non-residents are more than the residents?
Wow, that is interesting. Always when the first years come in, the University Council gave a directive that all first years must reside in the university. So you realize that most of those first years, even as they come, we allocate them rooms as first years during the first semester. However, in the second semester, like now, from now to April, majority of those first years have already gone to stay outside. Probably they want to adventure. Probably they want to understand why is it that they are being denied that opportunity not to reside outside. And therefore, we as accommodation, we go as per policy. Of course, the policy states that you must reside in the university for 1 academic year. So due to that, at least they are bound to that directive. And therefore, we always charge. Of course, when the system is synchronized in such a way that when you live in semester 1, in semester 2, you are automatically rolled over, and therefore you are invoiced. And therefore, if you don't register as a resident in the second semester, then you will have to pay money which you will not utilize.
So let's talk hygiene, because hygiene is the most important thing to everybody, students, non-students, everybody. How do you ensure that the accommodation is clean, and how do you balance between clean students and those people who are not clean?
It is true the current students don't maintain hygiene. Some of them take even a week without showering. And we have observed that, because when they come to the office, you will smell something. So probably it's because of us, we do not provide hot water for the students. But again, hot water does not mean that you should not maintain cleanliness. We also have rules governing students' stay. We ask them to clean their rooms. However, every end of the semester, the outsourced service come in and clean the rooms that have not been cleaned well and do thorough cleaning so that the place can be clean.
What about the washrooms? They share a common washroom. How do you ensure that it's clean?
We share, the students share common washrooms.
Yeah.
Of course, we have shared facilities. So the outsourced entity do the cleaning, and they clean in the morning, they clean in the afternoon, and we have water bins within the hostels, which we store in water. So when the students soil the place, you can chotter the water
Yes.
and you pour it in the ablution. So they are maintained, although that stench may not be very well done, but at least we maintain the cleanliness.
Okay, let's talk about the 10 to 10 rule. How do you implement that, and is it effective as per now?
Not really. The 10 to 10 rule is not very effective. You realize that our students they love walking at night. I don't know the reason why. Probably they like roaching, they like,
Yes.
enjoying life, socializing. But the 10 to 10 rule affects most of the students because between 10 and 10, our rule is clear. They are supposed to get to other rooms when it's past 10 or before 10 in the morning. But we have had challenges with it. However, the security have really tried to enforce it, and some of them normally go for disciplinary because of the 10 to 10 rule.
Okay.
We request the students to abide by it because it helps in monitoring their social life. It also helps in security of their life here on campus.
Okay, and do you allow relationships in campus?
Relationships is a social phenomena.
Yes.
And we cannot deny them that freedom. It is a challenge on our part, yes. Relationships, students must relate.
Yes.
Of course, in our university, they must have that freedom of socializing.
Yes.
And therefore, relationships are allowed. However, in the hostels, a male cannot spend in a female room, which they normally do.
Yes.
But their roommates will come to report to say that their roommate is exiling them or they are not able to sleep well because their roommates are bringing in opposite sex. Therefore, relationships are there, but we are trying to manage, following the rules and the policy.
Is that a reason why you always distribute condoms every single time?
Condom distribution is one of our best activities. We need to help our students survive in this world. To change behavior of somebody is not easy. And therefore, condom distribution, we give them so that they are able to protect themselves. Protect themselves from unwanted pregnancies, diseases, HIV and AIDS, and even unplanned pregnancies. So if we give them the condoms, we are not telling them to
engage in sexual activity.
You continue doing it. No. We are giving them so that they can protect themselves from the diseases and what have you.
And talking about unplanned pregnancies and also protecting yourself, why is it that you do not allow students who give birth to reside in the hostels?
Oh, the university doesn't have resources, the facilities to accommodate students who have babies. Number two, for you to have a baby, you need to have a house girl to take care of the baby. We don't have those facilities. Remember, our hostels are shared facilities. Number two, we may not be able to govern those house girls. You get the point? So the students who get babies are allowed to reside outside so that they can take care of their babies there and peacefully. Unlike the ones who reside in the university, because you see, they live with their colleagues. So living with somebody who has a baby is a challenge again. You may not be able to manage.
But is the university thinking of maybe creating something favorable for them? Because they are students. At the end of the day, some of them are even denied by their parents. They can't afford the rent, and comparing rent outside and rent inside is cheaper. So it's more affordable for them to live in, as much as it's not conducive for those people who don't have kids, because kids cry, especially at night. But is the university working towards creating something that is going to accommodate everyone, regardless of the position they are in life?
People may think of coming up with such resources, but I don't think if the university is ready to go to that direction, because you see, we are facing a financial crisis.
Yes.
And accommodating even those who do not have babies is a challenge also. So probably in the near future, but not today.
Okay.
Yes.
And okay, we hope one day that it's going to happen.
Sure.
But now, some few months ago, there was a case on abortion. First of all, what is your take on abortion? And then second of all, how did you handle that?
Abortion happens among the students. You see, there are those who don't protect themselves when they're enjoying sex. But recently, we had one student who aborted, whom we even didn't even know.
Yeah.
We just found a fetus in the blocked up in the toilet. Yeah. But when we get such cases, we call on to the security. Of course, abortion is illegal in this country.
It is.
And many students do it, but they hide. We cannot even know who has aborted, or who is pregnant. We don't follow those data. That data is medical. We really don't confine ourselves to it.
Okay. So how do you ensure that our ladies protect themselves, and also men, because it takes two to enjoy sex and create a baby? So how do you make sure that all of them are safe?
Sensitization forums. We have sensitization forums when they come in as first years. We sensitize them and inform them that if in the event that somebody would want to protect themselves, we issue condoms.
Yeah.
We have our Congress students who take care of our hostels within. We invite them to come and pick condoms. Normally we work hard to ensure that we get condoms from different forums in the public health, from Njoro. And those condoms help even today. Yesterday, they came for those condoms. I don't know when they use them and how, but we issue them with condoms.
So without judgments, they come and you're like, take
Yes.
it. Okay.
Take the condoms and use them as much as you can, so long as you protect yourselves.
Okay, let's just move a little bit from that perspective and let's talk about cooking and everything. Right now it's illegal to cook.
It is
illegal. But back in the day there was a kitchenette where people used to meet and cook. But now, I don't know why you guys decided you guys should not eat outside or something, but do not cook in the hostels. And again, with this current economy, the food is expensive. A student can't afford a meal. Nowadays they always say, and I'll quote in Kiswahili, ati lunch ikifika tunainama tunasonga, yeah? Because they cannot afford. The meals now, they're expensive. Kitambo meals were like 7 bob, 5 bob. Students could afford. So, why, number one, did you ban kitchenettes? Number two, what is the thing that you're trying to do right now to make sure that our students can afford the meal, balanced diet?
The number one thing that has brought these students here is to study, not to cook.
Yes.
Number two, the bills. The electricity bills were too high.
Okay.
Very high for the university. You remember those days we used to have coils in the kitchen, in the kitchenette, and all of them used to be red hot. Very expensive for the university. We used to do frequent repairs, electrical replacements of gadgets, which is also very expensive.
Okay.
And therefore, the university thought it wise to stop that idea and ensure that our students eat from the mess. The messes are cheap. The food in the mess is very cheap, so and affordable for those students who may not be able to afford expensive foods, meals. And therefore, to me, I think that idea was very good. Of course, it was very expensive on the side of cleanliness, very expensive on the side of personnel, very expensive on electricity bills, and maintenance was also very expensive. And therefore, in the current economy, and you know how institutions are struggling with finances, I don't think if it will be viable for us to continue maintaining the kitchenettes.
Okay. But what about students who can't afford buying meals from outside?
Those are the ones who decide to become non-residents.
Okay.
Then they decide to cook for themselves. However, I don't think if it is cheap.
It's not cheap at all.
It is not very cheap because you see they have to pay rent, they have to pay for water, they have, there are many needs that they are required to do. Sometimes security reasons, again, it is damn expensive. I don't know why students love that, but I would encourage all our students to reside in the university because it is cheaper.
Yes.
To reside in the our hostels are friendly, pocket friendly, and even when they live in the university, socialization is core.
Yes.
They have to interact with each other so that they are able to learn from one another.
So you said you joined, you were appointed to be the chief host in 2018 January. So what's the best thing that has ever happened to you in that role?
Wow, I've learned a lot. Then I never used to interact with students so much. But today I really I've known how they behave, I've known what they like, I have known what they don't like. And living with the students has even helped me as a mother to take care of my babies. So you see, when you mentor them here, you will again mentor your children at home. So we have grown like that, and I've remained fresh. I've remained a young mother. You know, as I stay with the kids, I behave like them, I talk like them. They have even taught me Sheng, and I'm so happy. Yeah.
So you're enjoying your job so far?
Very, very much.
So what are the challenges that you faced?
Challenges. We have got very many challenges within the hostel. We have shortage of water, which is rationed.
Yeah.
You know, now we are getting to the dry spell. The water may not be very enough for everybody. So we are forced to ration. And by the time students want to use water, we do not have it. That is a challenge. Number two, sometimes students fail to pay accommodation fees. Some of them decide to go outside, and we require them to be within the university. So you see, that is a challenge because it affects our income as an IGU. Another challenge is bangi. Yes, we have had several complaints from students concerning the same. So the university is also putting measures in place to ensure that our students don't smoke bang from within the hostels. Those conflicts I talked about are also bothering us, but we are managing them through counseling and what have you. Relationships and so on, many challenges. Yes.
But is relationship really a challenge?
Yes, it causes conflicts among students within the hostels. If they are living and they are conflicting due to, you know, huyu ameshika boyfriend ya huyu, and then they start quarreling, they'll fight. Some of them even fight. We also have a challenge on security, theft cases. Like last semester we had several theft cases where students take law into their hands and they beat up those thieves. You get? I would encourage students not to take law into their hands. There are several measures where they are supposed to report such issues so that we solve them amicably.
So if a student is watching right now, Egerton University student, and maybe she or he has a complaint on something, how do they reach out to you?
In the hostels, we've got offices for custodians. That is where they are normally given keys. Any student who comes in, they report to the custodian. So the custodian is supposed to take care of the student and ensure that they are comfortable in their rooms. If the custodian is not able to solve their issues, there is a halls officer in charge of a specific hostel who again can assist. If the halls officer is not able to handle that, my office is very open. We do open door policy. They walk in, they walk out. We can be able to solve their issues as they come. Yeah.
You can see you're handling it as a mother. You really are doing well. So what is that one thing that you can tell someone who is watching you and wants to join a campus, or someone who wants to work as a chief host?
Wow. Egerton University is the best campus to come. Those students who've just done their fourth form and they are waiting to join campus. Egerton is the best university so far. And we have enough facilities, especially the hostels, you see, pocket friendly. So many parents are wondering if they'll take their children in campus, where will they stay? Okay. Egerton is the best institution. Okay. Egerton is the best campus because our programs are very, they are market oriented. So I would encourage all of them to bring their kids here so that we can be able to take care of them. Anybody aspiring to be the chief health officer, the best job so far. If you want to remain young, come and work with the students, you'll be happy. Okay. Yes.
Yeah, so thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
So much fun having a conversation with you.
Sure.
And I've really learned a lot.
Oh, yeah.
We'll be calling you again for sure.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, so for everyone who is watching us, thank you so much for watching us. And remember, you can leave your comment on everything that we've talked about. If you agree with us, if you do not agree with us, again, we always agree to disagree. Remember, this is the Empowered Youth series only on Coilib TV. See you next time.
Thank you, and bye-bye.